Yeah. So my question is like, how does it go up though? Like, I mean, I understand like as more people use Bitcoin as a currency, like how does it go up? How is it? Is like a stock you're investing in a company making money off of their product, right? With Bitcoin, it's just a currency. So it's like that's all it is.
So Bitcoin is the intersection between currency, which is dollars, stocks, which are stocks that we talked about, and then technology. So it's that's what cryptocurrency is, not necessarily Bitcoin. So those things at those intersections or intersectionality and all that good stuff, Bitcoin can go up for any one of those things. So right now what Bitcoin needs is for people to use it like a currency. So the more and more people start taking Bitcoin and using Bitcoin, then it goes up because Bitcoin has a built-in scarcity factor. So it's only so many Bitcoins. Let's say it's like 10 Bitcoins out there. So once people start using it and it's scarce, then it makes things a zero-sum game. So if you don't have Bitcoin, then you can't spend it. You see what I mean? But the thing about Bitcoin is it's fractional. So you don't have to have a whole Bitcoin. You can have 0.0001% of a Bitcoin. So the market cap, like a stock on Bitcoin, will go up the more people use it.
Yeah, I bought $3 worth, which is probably 0.0000000001 of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, so that's it. You got to watch a documentary. I would be lying if I say I can explain it
Well,
completely.
see, I watched one, and what I got from it was like Bitcoin was like essentially like mining Bitcoin. The reason why you should use Bitcoin is because it has a ledger that everybody has access to.
Right.
Meaning like nobody can steal or fraudulently like do Bitcoin because
right.
that ledger, right? Because you're like, it's the ledger is being passed along everybody who mines it, and that's the reason why you're mining it and you get paid for mining it, right?
Right.
Okay. I get that part. It's just like, I guess it you can also buy shit with Bitcoin that you can't buy shit with money for, like drugs and shit like that,
and women.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a full conversation on Bitcoin. I'm not an expert. I just have a miner and I mine Ether. So yeah, but
yeah, I heard that it was definitely using Bitcoin on the dark web.
Yes, because it's untraceable.
Yeah.
So having an untraceable currency, so like with dollars and all that, so it goes into fiat currencies and all this good stuff. And then at the end of the day, I will say with quantum computers, when they come out, then Bitcoin will have a problem because then you can technically counterfeit Bitcoin because then you won't necessarily need a ledger because you got a quantum computer. But the quantum computers now, they damn near like ENIAC. Like every quantum computer that they have is like big as shit. It's like the size of a house or whatever.
Old school supercomputers.
Yeah. Them.
So you've had a miner for at least a year because you've had a miner since before we started this podcast.
Yes.
Has it made you your investment back?
Yes. Well, when I sell it, I can sell it now and then make my money back.
Okay.
So if I sold it, so it's like buying a used car. I could sell it used and still make money. You see what I mean? Or I can have it mine and then continue to slowly make the money.
But it is giving you like some type of residual income.
It is giving me some type of return.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. And then that return is determined by how much Ethereum is. So Ethereum is going up. All cryptos have been going up recently though because of coronavirus and people thinking the world ending and the stock market going up and all that good stuff. So
got you. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's all I got on Bitcoin. So please don't ask me any more questions.
Well, that is the most intricate intro to my Homeboys podcast
right.
we ever had.
I was just thinking that. I know people be like, when they turn on the podcast, you go hear some weird shit at the beginning.
Like, the fuck is this shit?
Our intro is never what the show's about.
Well, I feel like we can tie this one into a conversation, but
yeah, we could.
Let's do the intro first.
All right. So
Go ahead.
no. We're gonna let our special guest Napoleon start it off.
Okay.
He don't be here with us no more, man. Napoleon
Man,
be
y'all
busy.
tripping. I do be here. What you talking about? I'm here.
He be
I'm
here in spirit.
Called in 1 week.
Hey,
man,
but
y'all-
it won't hit the internet without Napoleon though.
This is true.
So,
This is true.
Y'all had too much debauchery going on that week. I couldn't be around the Bachelor podcast.
Yeah, no, I think your cells was exposed to some debauchery. That's why you.
Man, I heard y'all had strippers. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you heard a lot.
Girls falling from the ceiling, champagne flute.
that's what I wanted us to have, but you know,
Some of the
Corona.
Suns players coming in.
Oh, come on, man.
No, but this is my homeboy, pretty fly for a fat guy, aka Mr. 121 Dreams, aka E Money Bags.
Yeah, this is my homeboy Antoine. Mr. I'm newly married and everything in text is
My
my wife.
I'm one of them girls on the internet, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, everything be like, yeah, my wife.
Yeah.
She don't have no name no more. Her name is wife now. So every text, if he ever talking about it, his wife, which is a good thing.
I be in the Zoom meetings with my finger just up to the camera. Oh, that's just my wedding ring. My bad. But this is my homeboy N_Dynamite_. My homeboy 3 foot tall Napoleon. My homeboy. I ran out of nicknames. I'm sorry.
Hey man, it worked.
Hey, my homeboy Napoleon in the house.
Hey,
And this is get extra cheesy with it.
my homeboys
podcast. I don't care what you say about that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, since we started off talking about money, you know, we might as well keep talking about money, man.
You want to?
You want to talk about that money?
Yeah, we got a few money topics. Like
You got some money topics.
So which you got the list, homie? Which money
we
topic
gonna
we
talk.
do first?
Well, if it's cool,
Okay.
I know I'll be taking over. Now you know.
No.
I'm
I'm sorry. And this is Eric and his homeboys podcast. Like, subscribe.
Nah, so I'm gonna take a back seat.
No, you good? Do
Yeah,
you, homie?
you.
All right, so since we talking about money, let's talk about these goddamn SBA loans. and
Okay,
these,
you did. You chose the one I was thinking. I kind of want to talk about that.
Let's talk about these SBA loans and these grants and everything that everybody is not everybody because motherfuckers wouldn't give me one, so I'm a little salty.
About to
you
say,
know?
cause my homeboy worked for Wells Fargo, and he said there's a lot of denials out there. You got to
Yeah.
fill that paperwork out a certain way.
You do, and I found out the hard way because I was when you told me about the EIDL, I had got all excited. That night I had ran through. They sent me that message. It was like, yeah, so this doesn't match. I'm gonna need you to resolve this before we can send you some money. Then I couldn't even get into the fucking shit with my information, so I had to take that L. I did a whole nother application, whole nother one. It was like, yeah, we already got one on file for you. So
They hit me with the same thing, bro.
Dang, bro.
then I waited like 3 weeks to a month later and did a whole nother application. It was like, yeah, your business doesn't have the credit history that we're looking for, so we can't send you no money.
Damn, you got to call and appeal. So I ended up calling. So same thing happened to me. I got denied. I did another one that was like, nah, you already applied. We said no. And I ended up calling. So at first the lines was on go, bro. Like you could not get through. You were just waiting online forever. But I ended up calling. So I found out like you can appeal it, but you got like 6 months from your denial date to appeal it.
That first time I called, man, I literally, my phone was on hold, on speaker for an hour.
Exactly, yeah.
And they just hung up.
Yo,
And
that pissed me off the most. Like,
oh, yeah.
don't just hang up on me. I was on hold, totally unrelated. I was on hold for an hour on some government, like called the government. Somebody picked up, spoke to somebody in the background. Yeah, and hung up on me.
That shit is happening. Oh, yeah. I was heated. I was fucking heated. Cause it's like, bro, I just spent an hour. You know how when you be on hold for some shit you need, like you can't really focus on nothing else. Cause you like, if they answer the phone, you got to be on that motherfucker.
Right. The music stopped playing and it'd be like a bullshit ass message talking.
Man. Yeah. But yeah, like it's people out here getting these SBA loans, and these niggas is balling right now.
SBA balling.
Right, SBA balling.
Hey, buddy. Balling like a big shot.
Right.
I tune up like no.
I hope these people is actually like investing this money in their business and in their brand. You know what I'm saying? Because this is an opportunity that don't really like it. The SBA is always there, but like they ain't been giving out money in the way they're giving out money right now.
Yes,
and the ease of it, because I do know people who have like. I think my problem was I didn't say I had lost enough money the first time I filled out the application, because other people who had put that shit down, they literally got cut like $10,000-$20,000 checks.
But those are the loans, though, right?
Yeah, but the terms of the loans is so fucking sweet. Like, go ahead.
It's pretty much a house loan. Like,
right.
So you getting a house, you getting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I seen one chick on Facebook. She got $120,000, and it's like a 3.4 interest rate, and the first payment ain't due to like May 2021.
And you got 30 years to pay on it. So we talking about these people getting 10. Payments ain't nothing but $78 a month.
Right. $78 a month.
And your first payment ain't due until May.
Yeah.
Of next year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can technically, I don't know y'all financial situation, take a loan against your 401k. That interest go directly to you. The only caveat is you can only borrow so much from yourself.
Yeah, I've been doing that since day one. I owe them niggas right now. But it was speaking of 401k, to not change the subject, like the CARES Act also right now allows you to take $100,000 up to $100,000 out of your 401k without paying the 20% penalty up front. Mm-hmm. So like it's dangerous though, because I ain't gonna lie, I took a good bit, but I also used it to pay off some credit shit because I'm trying to own some stuff. You know, so like I used it for a semi-right reason, and I hope people that's getting these loans is using them to actually have some, you know what I'm saying, some longevity to their business, and actually taking the money and investing in their business so that it thrives beyond.
In which everybody's not gonna do. Cause I saw the one guy, he got his loan, bought like a Porsche, went bought bottles. You know what I'm saying, like. He ran through that check real quick, so you already know his business. And then I think they came out. It was a post on Facebook. I didn't read it in its entirety because I knew I wasn't getting a check.
Right, that shit wasn't.
I want to hear about good, bad, or indifferent. It ain't got my name on one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How you feel about it, Napoleon?
Nah, I feel the same way you feel about it. Like how you said earlier. It was like. What you said, old girl said? She said, like, yeah, everybody be talking about their business and all this stuff, but people getting this SBA loan.
And they going on trips today. They flossing on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Like, we need to see some growth next year. Because at the same time, like, it's majority of everybody I know is black. So for me to reference somebody getting this loan is somebody black. And we've always, like...
Oh, the guy I was talking about wasn't black.
Oh, well... Everybody I know that got it is black, but we always talk about how hard it is in the black community to get like loans and grants and things when you have a business or when you're trying to start up a business. But it's like, all right, if we getting it now, like nigga, is you gonna nigga the
right? What is you doing?
Right? Is you gonna? Because that's the complaint. I mean, it still can be on the table because they denied my black ass, but you know, this ain't about me, you know. But I'd hope that we see these people make some
wise and good investments into their business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. But most often than not, man, like I said earlier, I think this shit might be a setup for the new type of slavery for the people who take the SBA loan, and then like 2 years down the line, about, oh, if you took this SBA loan and you didn't pay it back, now you have to do this volunteer government assistance, and not necessarily that the government is assisting you. You got to assist us, and it's you got to build these houses and till these fields. And
yeah, I mean, because what I don't want to see happen, these people, somebody get $120,000 SBA loan, don't put in their business.
Yeah.
And then now you got this mortgage payment with no house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to see
I ain't gonna lie to you because I mean it takes financial maturity to handle that amount of money. Like to just get a lump sum of money out of the air, it takes financial maturity. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, because my first thought when I thought about the money was like, bro, I'm gonna get this. I'm about to get this new whip. That
I'm about to kill him.
I was like, man, I've been wanting to get one of the Can-Am Spiders, man. I can afford that shit cash for this. But then, you know, that's the immature part of me. And then the mature part was like, but I could just actually invest in the business and then be able to buy that shit next year, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not buy and still have the business at the same time, because that's the most important thing. Like you said, you'll have a mortgage loan and ain't got a fucking house. Like, you just shit out of luck. And I think that's more of the trap that they trying to set you in,
Right?
because once you get to that point, you desperate as shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to probably roll around a whole nother set of loans with some harsh ass terms that you got to take then. You know what I'm saying? So like next year, a couple years later, oh, we got this new SBA loan, but the interest rate 20%. It's like a credit card interest rate.
28%.
Right. And if your ass $100,000 in the hole and they want to give you this $200,000 at 28%, shit, they done covered the $100,000, you know what I'm saying, that they took, that they gave you the first time in this second loan.
This is real. This is real.
Yeah. So
I also think it's part of like the American system. Like is you know, they say the flame flicker the most before it go out. Like America might be out of options, and they just like, you know what, we just finna throw money to everybody, and hopefully somebody out there got a great idea that can make the country run.
that could be true too.
Or when someone does has a great idea to make the country run, they could investigate him and try to come up on put him up on criminal charges.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Speaking on that.
Speak on that. So I'm talking about my Morehouse brethren, the man that made me so proud.
Yes, sir.
CEO Robert Smith paid off all the, you know, Morehouse always on the news for something. You know what I'm saying? Morehouse can do any and everything, and they gonna make the news. When they canceled the football season, they made the news, and everyone else followed behind them. Robert Smith, if y'all don't know, paid off all the student loans and the Parent Plus loans for the graduates of class.
Oh, so he did come back and do that?
Oh yeah. He found a way. Like Clark Leonard say, find a way to make one. He found a way to do the Parent Plus loans too. Took care of all the loans for the class of 2019. And what was it, 2018? I can't remember. Whatever.
Man, he did it.
Yeah, he did it. It was last year, so 2019, class of 2019. And now the government's saying, hey, he didn't file taxes on $200 million that he has in an offshore account. So now they're trying to come up on tax evasion charges on him.
That shit is crazy, bro.
As fuck.
Cause
well, is it crazy, or is it like what we know is gonna happen? We saw it. We knew. We should have seen it coming.
Well, them niggas won't give us a fucking whole year to celebrate. They won't even give us a whole year to bask in black excellence before they find a way to be like, all right, this nigga's not excellent. You know what I'm saying? They won't give us, these motherfuckers with this border wall shit. They probably been doing this shit since fucking Trump was running. Cause you heard about that, right? Like,
oh yeah, the Steve Bannon who took money from his own people that was like, let's donate to build a wall, and he just what do you call that when you take money out of embezzled?
Yeah, he embezzled the shit out of that money. They probably knew his ass been embezzling since the first year, but they gave him 4 years to fucking, you know what I'm saying, live his embezzled life and distribute the money to wherever the fuck he wanted to distribute it to. But this ain't about him. But I'm just saying, like, they couldn't give us a whole year to just be like, to keep this man up in this highlight.
He's still in the highlight of my life.
He is.
Yeah, me too.
He is.
He's
Why
gonna
you playing?
beat the charges. Hopefully.
Yeah, he should. But
Yeah.
nah, like I think Twan, you said it earlier. Like, it's when you do something like that, you don't want to come out and be it's about a way of keeping the black man humble. Cause you can't come out and be for reparations, paying off people's tuitions and then actually be successful in business. Like, nah, America's gonna find a way to say you're fucking up.
Oh, you forgot the key caveat to that. You can't do that, and you can't be black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which is it's crazy because I mean this is a weird side note, but if you see my Instagram, I posted the little picture of me with my fresh haircut on there. I know y'all like, why is this nigga talking about his haircut?
Came after you for that?
No, I'm just saying I'm tying it all. Well, damn, that's rushing it, but it talk about King. If you listen to the words of it, it talks about how like Michael Jordan gives back to the community like LeBron James does, but you don't hear about Michael Jordan because like everybody, if you a lot of times we talk about Michael Jordan and the community and be
you
like,
said you were talking about King. What's King?
It's a part of the song called 10 Points on Nas' new album. But I was trying not to mention that specifically.
It don't matter.
We going there. We going.
Okay. So since we okay with moving on, Nas dropped a new album.
We ain't got to move all the way on. We can just, we going to introduce all the topics at once. Let's
go. But anyway, in the song he talked about how like Jordan gives back to the community, but in that period of time, like when Jordan was like still in the limelight, they don't advertise black people doing a lot of shit for the community. So like, I feel like a lot of people are afraid to do it on a public street because like what happened to Robert Smith, like when you get famous for giving out to people, I think LeBron James he came up in a time where he knew how to do that as well as keep his shit clean. You know what I'm saying? Like to keep his closet clean, because you can't really attack somebody who closet clean.
Yeah, right. I call it the Frank Lucas effect. And when Frank Lucas making all that money, but the day he step out and go to a boxing match with that chinchilla, that's what brought the attention to him. That's when and that's exactly what happened. He just take it backwards. Robert Smith paid off the loans. Now it sounded like they did a whole year investigation. Right.
And I think the righteous thing is that why the fuck even invest somebody like this dude just paid off student loans. So that means the government got that money.
Oh yeah.
So like why not even
they're not getting the interest and the late fees from that money.
Right. That too.
And then I say something else like with Trump. I mean, whether you love him, hate him, and all that stuff, I know most of our listeners don't give a fuck about Trump. But even then, I think he's the only person during Trump's administration to get investigated for like tax evasion, laundering, and all that good stuff. Because we know what Trump be doing. So it's like for them to investigate a black man. I'm not saying it's America, but it sounds about white.
Yeah, and Jeff Bezos article just came, or didn't just come out, but they said that he's projected to be the first trillionaire by 2026. And it's a well-known fact that him nor Amazon pay taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bernie Sanders for letting us know that. That's how I found out.
Well, we ain't gonna. This nigga Trump still ain't dropped his W-2s. We almost through his first 4 years and he still ain't dropped them.
He don't know what a W and a 2 is. He's like, I thought George W out of office. They didn't want me to drop him.
Yeah, but them motherfuckers, they can get away with that shit. But like, I think. That's a part of, again, why a lot of black wealthy people don't want to be in the news about the good shit that they do for the community. And it stifles what they can do because he also talked about reparations.
Yeah.
Like, and how that was probably the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, that's probably,
It's like, all right, nigga.
Speaking of nail in the coffin, I know we didn't talk about this, but I did some research on it, and I just learned this week. So Johnny Cochran, we all know Johnny Cochran.
Yes.
Y'all know that he was bringing together a super group of lawyers to sue the U.S. government for reparations.
I have heard of that.
And like a month later, that's when he mysteriously died.
Yeah, and then that's a sad thing about our country and like our media, because even now with internet, like you can get that type of knowledge, but like. It's also built into our kind of like consumption of media to like call that shit a conspiracy when it can be 100% true.
It could be.
Like, just like even if you fucking talk about fucking Epstein. This motherfucker, like,
Right.
oh, he hung himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
like,
definitely didn't hang himself. Definitely not.
like, but it's built into our consumption of media to be like, you know, we're gonna accept the fact that this motherfucker died mysteriously, like right before some shit leaked or some shit really hit the fan about the country, or like the most powerful men in the country. Like,
Right. Yeah. And then I do want to say something else. I mean, with Epstein, it's everybody was on the plane. A lot of people was on the plane and all that good stuff. But the one person I do want to highlight is that never gets flack and nothing ever sticks to him is Bill Clinton. Like Bill Clinton, he got Monica Lewinsky. He was on Epstein. Like he got what do you got? Like the whole history of questionable stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like why he ain't getting that R. Kelly treatment?
yeah, because we as a country, like,
Cause he ain't got no album out.
He ain't dropped that sax album yet?
Nah, that almost a double entendre, but switch one of them letters, boy. I'm sorry. I'm immature.
nah, because I feel like with R. Kelly, like I hate to be super woke, man, but that's me. If you want to call me that.
Woke man.
Yeah, that's me. But like we actually hold our people accountable. Like we as black people, we've been taught to criticize and hold our legends accountable. So like that's why it can be all right to cancel fucking R. Kelly. Because it's like we buy into well, there ain't no buy into. He did some fucked up shit. He 100% did some fucked up shit.
And since we talking about the cancellation of R. Kelly, there was an artist that came out over a decade ago that they said was going to be the next R. Kelly, and I feel like his cancellation is coming.
Trey Songz.
Trey Songz, man.
Oh,
That's probably coming too. But
think so?
okay,
my
that's
bad.
something got to be unpacked too. But like white people don't give a fuck that they people do fucked up shit. Like
Because they've been doing it since the beginning of time.
They don't. They really.
If you want to go black and white with it, let's go straight up black and white. And what's on black and white? Paper. And what's on paper? Words. Black and white. Let's go all the way back to the word of God. Who killed Jesus?
His own homeboy.
White boys.
Yeah.
They killed Christ.
Yeah. He took it way back, but like it's built into their culture to do like some fucked up shit, like and it be acceptable. Like that's why we, you know, in our history we've celebrated Christopher Columbus. That's why like they know that the fucking Confederates were like dirty ass people. You know, like they wanted slaves and shit, but they still want to call it heritage because they don't hold themselves accountable for bullshit.
Of course,
like everything is for the taking for them. We actually have. I ain't trying to get our podcast canceled.
I seen a meme, and then I want to get on to. I seen.
We didn't get canceled after that one episode. So we didn't get canceled for none of that. I don't get none.
I did see a meme. They said slavery ended. Like they want us to get over slavery, but they don't want to get over the loss of the war. So pretty much they want to keep the flag and all that stuff, but they want us to get over slavery. But nah, I think this Trey Songz conversation, this is something we didn't talk about. Like, but I do feel like it would be something worth unpacking.
I see what you did there.
First,
I see what you did there.
I think
I don't even know the girl's name.
I mean, I know
it's two white girls.
What's the one chick, the famous black chick?
Keke Palmer.
Like? Keke Palmer.
So no, I knew her name. I was talking about the two white girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but Keke, I remember watching that interview where Keke Palmer was talking about all the stuff that Trey Songz did to her, and a lot of people did call her a liar.
Yeah, man. This goes back to that whole like us showing up for our sisters type thing, and it ain't even really us because
it's not us at this table.
Yeah,
but us as a collective unit.
Yeah, but and it's also like our fucking people we trust for media. Because if the Breakfast Club hadn't handled that shit that way, then it wouldn't have went out that way. Meaning like if they hadn't given her resistance during the interview of her telling her truth, like when we consumed it on our level of the media, we wouldn't have continued that energy. And it's like, I understand. Like it was a post recently that said, this is a side note. I'm sorry. I'm not.
I don't want no suspense. What was the post?
Well, it was just a post recently that was like, black children that are born like under like white doctors are 3 times more likely to die, right?
Yes.
And like there's a war against like black women right now as far as like the medical. It's a war against black women, period. Just all across the board. But even like in the medical field, like I've had friends that be like, they go to the doctor and they be like, this is what's wrong with me, and the doctor will be like, nah, this is what's wrong with you. Like they don't know their home body. And I understand that the doctor is like educated, but they'll completely ignore side effects or things that they're experiencing. Just like in this situation, like we can hear our sister cry out about something and ignore it because we've been trained to think that like they not, they don't know what the fuck going on.
And no amount of money puts you above this, because Serena Williams was having complications of her pregnancy and her doctor wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
And it's not just women either, because men have the same thing. A friend of mine has been hospitalized for coronavirus, got released, negative test, started throwing up blood when he got home.
Damn. Went
back to the hospital. One of the nurses knew him, was like, oh, he a DJ. He probably drink all the time. He's just alcoholic. And he's like, yo, I'm not an alcoholic. I do drink alcohol, but I don't abuse it. Right. Like, I don't drink during the week. I only drink,
on the weekend.
On the weekend.
Like a regular American.
I'm responding like, oh, you're an alcoholic. That's why you drunk. The alcohol in your system and the blood. And he's like, he said he had to cut all the nurses out. Finally, they brought a doctor in. A doctor that was calm and listened to him, and he was like, yo, this is what's going on. They trying to call me alcoholic. I'm not alcoholic. Doctor was like, sound like you got ulcer. Boom, he had an ulcer in his stomach.
Yeah.
That comes back to the dehumanization of black bodies. People do not believe that we are human. Well, they believe that we're superhuman when it comes to anything physical. Right. But when it comes to anything that has to do with intellect or knowledge or anything like that, they want to think that we're subhuman. Mm-hmm. So it's that dichotomy that us as black people have to live with, and you got to watch out for. And that's a conversation that you got to have with your friends and your kids and everybody around you, because it's like, nah, you might not be crazy, bro. It might actually be something wrong with you. You might actually be hurt, and don't take this professional or this doctor in your homeboy, in our homeboy's case, opinion, like, nah, or this nurse's opinion, like, no, it's something wrong with me. I know something wrong with me. I'm not taking no for an answer. Just like Keke Palmer, like, no, I know something crazy happened to me, and we gotta believe her, and that's our job as black men.
And the craziest part about this whole situation, when he was trying to tell these people, I am not alcoholic. I drink Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I drink enough so I can feel good, but not enough to where I need to get a designated driver to go home. And they was like, oh no, anytime you have this, they try to redefine alcoholism
to fit his case.
And they was like, no. So, you gotta, and if you don't know who you are as an individual and as a person, society will redefine terms to make you fit their description.
Yeah. And that's something like,
when it's convenient for them.
That's something that like is really important for like us as people to know who we are, like, and really like learn who we are. Because I feel like a part of that is also like when you don't know who you are and somebody else tells you something, like you'll take whatever they offer you, like, meaning like, well, they're more intellectual than I am, so you know what I'm saying, like you'll ignore certain things. Like when you have a certain confidence in yourself, you'll press a button. You'll press a button regardless of what kind of pushback you get. And that's kind of what Keke Palmer was doing. Was like, yeah, I see you niggas don't want to acknowledge what the fuck I'm saying, but I'm gonna keep saying this shit, and unfortunately, like we said, we as a culture, we dropped the ball, and then when 2 white women said, oh, now we really,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, now we really want to cancel Trey Songz.
And I will not to give him an out, but I will say Trey Songz is from old Hollywood. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
want to
yeah,
have
yeah,
a conversation
yeah.
about
I thought about that too.
old Hollywood versus new Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because like old Hollywood was like the casting couch and you got to do what you got to do to make it in this business. I'm not saying that's cool.
It's crazy because was it his first song or his first album? Just got to make it.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I ain't saying it's cool, but old Hollywood, like the rules in Hollywood have changed. So now it's like, maybe that's like the last person from old Hollywood that can be canceled, because I guarantee you, if we go back to the 70s and when the mob was running Vegas and Hollywood and all that good stuff,
yeah.
it's extra crazy stuff.
Oh,
going
absolutely.
Me personally, I'm not going to cancel Trey Songz, but however, I would not trust him around Keke Palmer no more.
Right. Or any black woman for that sake, because that's how you. I mean, you might not cancel his music, but like when people have done predator type shit, like that's the point. Like you got to protect your people from the predators, and like black women are our responsibility as black men.
They are.
Like, you know, and it sucks because like when you think about it on our level, like on our level of society, it's very hard to do that. Only thing you can do is protect you, your family, your sisters, your mama, you know, any daughters you have. But like when it's like sons too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as black women goes, like I think we have to keep pushing the message out so that the men who still live under the old Hollywood rules understand that it's time for you to change. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is not cool no more. Yeah. I know you came up under this and it felt cool and like you seen other people do it, but you don't have that right no more. You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't get down with that around here. Right. You know? And we have to enforce that.
So now that we talked about old Hollywood, I kind of want to transition a little bit into new Hollywood and talk about this situation with the Suns basketball team and the young lady.
That's kind of, but I mean, that's kind of old Hollywood too.
Is that though?
Yeah.
Is that old Hollywood? It was her birthday.
Who is the victim here? Like that's what, like,
right.
If anything, I feel like the Phoenix Suns was the victim.
Right.
Really? Why?
They
Why?
just
I don't know.
They
I feel like the reason why I feel like she's the victim is because she didn't know her self-worth enough to know that you're not supposed to be sucking 7 niggas' dicks on your birthday.
But
I'm saying
can
you
we explain the situation?
So you got to tell the full story.
Yeah.
All right.
The full story. And Napoleon, I'm gonna have you be my cussing homeboy, and just fill in the cuss words as you deem necessary. So she's at a hotel room.
Fucking.
It worked so smooth. It went so smooth.
You know,
if you was in the room, you would understand how smooth that was. Like,
I'm gonna try not to laugh this time, but she's in a hotel room, an NBA player, and 7 other NBA players walk in on them.
Fucking.
So instead of kicking them out, in fact, she said that the guy that was
fucking
her called the other guys and say, hey, we in this room, come in. They come in, see her,
fucking,
and they take seats around the bed. There's 7 of them around the bed. So I'm guessing there's 3 on the left side.
Was it 2. Zone? What you think? What you think offense that was running?
It was like, I think it was a 1-3-1. You know what I'm saying?
But the dude wasn't even a player though, was it? He was just somebody who worked in the organization.
That's right. The first dude wasn't even a player. The
so
first dude she was.
You know, fucking. You know she was happy when the players came in. It's like, oh, more penises.
So they sat around the bed and she began to perform fellatio on this NBA team
roster.
And then she told the story of how Trey Songz pissed on her.
Yeah, man, but so that's new Hollywood. I feel like that's crazy. Like, it's so many thoughts. Is this a wrong situation? I feel like they're all adults. I feel like,
but this is my thing. So words change. Words change meaning. Like we try to give the N word a new meaning of a word. We try to give a new meaning of the word.
Honorable, outgoing, educated sisters.
WAP, we gave that new meaning of the word.
Yeah, wet ass pussy.
Women are powerful.
There we go.
My bad.
Yeah.
Women are powerful.
It's cool. Yeah. Read the title next week. But like, she said we got lit.
Yeah, it was.
I
lit.
feel like I've been lit before in my life, and I feel like me and my homeboys we got lit.
But dang,
My lit and her lit.
two different lits.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was legally wrong. I'm just saying, baby girl, it's your birthday. Like, if you spending your birthday sucking 7 niggas' dicks, like, you supposed to be receiving gifts on your birthday.
Well, maybe she got an oil fixation.
Maybe, but I'm just saying, I can't identify with that. Like, I'm not spending my birthday on my knees. So I'm gonna have somebody on their knees on my birthday, and on their birthday I'll be on my knees. But
which one
Was number 7?
No, not even number 7. Which one of them is the nastiest? The first guy, because he
nah, it be,
or the 7th guy, like
the 7th guy is the nastiest.
because he sat there while 6 of his homeboys ejaculated.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The first guy, I mean, this probably was not her first rodeo. So the first guy to pop it off kind of had to, like, you know, what did you?
But she cleaned up. She probably cleaned her mouth before did. She probably.
Well, when I say the first, I'm talking about not the guy that was
fucking.
I'm talking about the guy that.
Oh, I was talking about the guy that was fucking.
Okay, so
Who you talking about?
I was talking about the first guy to receive the fellatio.
Oh, okay. Who do you think is the nastiest?
I think homeboy number 2. You sat the second guy to get the BJ. Like, you sat there and watched your homeboy bust all in this girl mouth, and you like, yeah, I'm next.
But I mean, but you know, in porn culture, like that shit.
I'm glad you said culture, because what my question is, rape culture. You know how they talk about rape culture and it's so bad and all this stuff. Like, is this a part of rape culture? Because she clearly went retold the story, is proud of it. It was lit. She had a good time. It was her birthday. Was like, but in 5 years, if she go back and be like, oh, this was rape, like nowadays we would have to believe her.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, but I mean, in this case, because she told the story first, I don't even think we gotta feel about the story in rape culture, because she got to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? And she told it from a space that didn't seem like she was ashamed of it. Like, she was not proud of it.
Yeah, she said we fuck all the time.
But see, that's
we were lit.
That's why I'm saying the victim part is, again, woke man. Yeah, that's me. Is that you don't know your worth enough to know, even if you like fucking 7 dudes, it's your fucking birthday.
She didn't even fuck them though.
And
she gave him head. Like, if she would have fucked 7 dudes. I'm not saying
it would have been
hey,
8 because she did the first one.
If it was 8 dudes and it's your birthday and you want 8 dudes to run through you, you are a woman. Hey, this is what you want to do with your life.
In the words of TD Jakes, woman, thou art loose.
But when you kneel down for 7 niggas, like when you lower yourself, like physically and whatever else you want to call it, like when you put yourself in that position on your birthday, like, I don't know. That's not how I want to spend my birthday.
Is she a porn star?
I don't know what.
Is she a porn star? Yeah, if she a porn star,
but still, sense. Porn stars don't like that shit, man. They do that shit for the money. Like, what not? I say majority of them. Majority of them you talk to or you see an interview after that, they wasn't enjoying that shit. They was just doing it because they got paid to do that shit in that way.
It becomes a job.
And it's like, well, that's, again, that goes back to the super woke man part. Like, the culture, like what she grew up under probably allowed her to mentally find joy in that versus finding the uncomfortability about it. And that's why I said, like, that's why I view her as a victim, and that's why I say it's deeper than that. Because if you're willing to subject yourself, like, to that, just that uncomfortability enough on your birthday. Like you in a whole different mindset. And the niggas is probably like, shit, we've been watching porn since we was little, and we seen gangbangs everywhere. We done seen I done seen plenty of videos where niggas is doing that. They got one woman and it's a line of niggas, you know, and then you got the one nigga that initiated shit's like, oh, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's enough from Super Woke, man.
And this is why I say the players are the victim. Because what if these players have girlfriends and wives?
Did she name them though?
She didn't name them.
She didn't name the name.
It's a 12 to 15. Well, it's a NBA roster only 12 or 15 players.
I thought about that too.
Ain't nothing, like, it ain't like
I be like, baby, I wasn't in there. I wasn't look.
You know what I'm saying?
Where were you on the
That
night
was
of?
them niggas. That wasn't me, baby. But I guarantee somebody was like, so how much for that tell-all book? You know,
Right.
somebody.
Oh, yeah, you know it's
somebody
coming.
hit her. It was like, shit.
And this is why the Suns are the victims.
I get you. Because it's gonna come out.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to
The
come
process
out.
of elimination.
Right.
Want you and Devin Booker going to a party at the hotel? Okay. Yeah, get out.
Or the nigga, when that book come out, he gonna put all their names out there because that's how she gonna make the most money.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna pay her. She ain't make shit on this podcast. Not for real for mentioning this story, but giving the names out is worth the money.
Hey, you know what else is worth the money?
What?
Viacom is worth $1.5 billion off the series Wildin' Out.
Yeah.
And they fired Nick Cannon, and Nick Cannon sued them, or is in the process of suing them for the rights of the show, or for the value $1.5 billion.
Hey, if Nick Cannon wins anything for this, like that shit is gonna set a new precedent for media.
Precedents.
Well, precedents. Right.
I just like correcting you because you always correcting me.
You got me right there. Because we in a time frame where you don't have to fucking go to Viacom no more. So when Nick Cannon gets this money, any money, if he gets the complete ownership to the name of the show, bruh, it's gonna be a fucking bidding war to get that show. Ain't that show been? They in like what 500 episodes? Like
Right.
even fucking Emmanuel Hudson been on like 12 seasons.
And you know what's crazy? The show came out when we was in college.
Yeah.
It came out like 04. It came out 05, 06. They did about 3 seasons, and then they took
Hiatus.
I want to say a decade hiatus before they came back out.
And then came back booming even more. Like even right now, they was like doing old school versus the new school. So they had people
From the old
cast.
Yeah.
And you think about how many fucking black celebrities, like, and I'm talking about not just be like he caters to the whole list, whether you A list or Z list.
Yep.
Like you played a part in that show. So when he owns the shit and the next network is like, shit, we gonna get Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart was on hella Wildin' Out episode.
He was a member and he was a guest.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Mikey Day. He
Yep.
started off on Wildin' Out.
Fucking
Cat
D-Ray.
Cat Williams, D-Wade.
Afion Crockett.
Yeah.
Corey Holcomb.
Yeah. All these people are going. I feel like all of these people are gonna come back around and fuck with the show again, which they all have.
Yeah.
Like Cat Williams was actually a regular on the show. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I want to say he came back as a guest. Like, of course, he got bigger to the point where he wouldn't be a regular on that show no more. But, like, even niggas like Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart was doing this while he was Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? Not like the growing Kevin Hart. Like, he was.
I don't think Kevin Hart's going to grow anymore.
I mean, as far as celebrity and like money, pockets wise,
So,
like
you know what I think this is all part of? Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary on Dr.
Sebi.
Dr. Sebi. Nick Cannon picked it back up.
Yeah.
The trailer for that documentary came out. All of a sudden, Nick Cannon
That's a hot take.
get his show canceled.
Yeah. And then to say what he said was anti-Semitic, man, that shit is such a reach.
Oh, definitely a reach.
Like, that shit is like you reached into 2025.
Because
Like,
when I go back and listen to it, it sounds to me, I don't know if my ears are working, but he was asking questions.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it works out, it works out for Nick. I hope it works out for Nick. I don't feel like it was anti-Semitic. I don't know how they reaching, like you said. I feel like it got to be something else going on. So that's why they wanted to counsel him. And then it could have just been him talking to Professor Griff. I don't necessarily know all of this man history, but for some reason people don't like him. So,
but that's the dope thing about this fucking time is like you can cancel people for like sexual allegations because they deserve to be canceled for shit like that. But you cannot cancel shit for people for having opinions and only speaking opinions. And Dave Chappelle is the proof of that. Like, because they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is probably he done made so much fucking money off of Netflix. You know what I'm saying? And he still. Bruh, that fucking car ride joke, that was one of the greatest fucking shits
put together
ever.
So well.
Like, and he can talk about, you know, transgender and his lack of understanding for and it not cancel him. I feel like right now, because we're especially at the time that it's happening with COVID-19, because you can tailor your media to whatever the fuck you like. He knows exactly how to like go and move that shit to somewhere else and it be successful. And fucking Kevin Hart is building a platform for all comedians. Yeah. So they probably got something in the work. That shit probably gonna show up on LOL network.
Nah, I feel it. And I do, speaking about networks, I do want to talk about a network that has been doing some really great things. HBO. With Lovecraft Country. Yeah. Executive produced by Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I like the show. Have y'all you seen it? Twan, did you get a chance to watch it?
I just got me a username and password for HBO, so I'm gonna check that out.
And you the fire? Never mind. Nah. I ain't gonna throw you under the bus.
Oh no, I'm the fire stick king. But sometimes some things I don't want the potential to buff. You know what I'm saying? And if I use the app properly, it won't.
Yeah.
I like the show though. Like, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll give you the premise. So if you've seen Get Out, it's kind of like Get Out. If you've seen Us, it's kind of like Us. It's not directed by Jordan Peele, but it is executive produced by him. And the thing about the show is, it's like you go back to like the Green Book and the Temptation, 5 Heartbeats and things like that, where you in maybe like the antebellum South. But then you mix that in with like True Blood and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and all these supernatural things. So it's like, it's pretty much the white people are inherently evil and it's the black people are kind of in like the not inherently good, but they are the protagonists. So you looking at it and it's like, damn, it's fucked up, but they supernaturally evil. And like, it's just the juxtaposition of the two stories that we don't necessarily see them often. So I feel like it'll make for some great conversation.
Yeah, and I think what it does really good and the brilliance behind it is like white people have done some really evil shit and they never titled it really evil. So they never really owned it being evil. Like, you know, like fucking Christopher Columbus coming here and right. You know what I'm saying? All of this time, he's a fucking hero, and he genocide all of these people. You know what I'm saying?
Or you know, not arresting Breonna Taylor or standing on somebody's neck.
Right. Yeah. When you get an opportunity to show these events again, but not from like I feel like majority of the older like movies that were about like racism and slavery was all centered around like victory in escaping those things versus actually villainizing those things. Meaning like when we watched 12 Years a Slave,
that's deep.
We hoped that at the end he was going to get off the plantation. But there was still motherfuckers on the plantation.
Right, a whole heap of motherfuckers.
Why the fuck does the plantation exist in the first place.
Right.
Like, so you know, we got to see these things from the lens of like wanting it to be a success story for that individual or the small amount of people who do escape these very tragic situations. Like, even if you look back at Queen and Slim, like, we just wanted Queen and Slim to survive. You know what I'm saying? At the end of that movie, like, that would have been the glory behind it. But like, the fact that he just shot them, you know, he
Spoiler
shot.
alert.
I hope you've seen it.
Oh, the hell.
I hope you've seen it by now. Like, the fact that whole thing started from him being the aggressor in the situation and him having a history of being the aggressor and attacking black people, you know what I'm saying? That get lost in the sauce. So again, like, I feel like this show and the new way they're showing these things have a good way of showing it from them you being a villain for choosing that way to live out your life, to live from such hatred and shit like that.
I don't want to sound like the bad guy, but I wasn't rooting for Queen and Slim.
Really?
You wasn't?
Yeah, like after a while, I was like, they keep making dumb decisions. Like,
Yeah. I can see that.
Oh yeah, they made a bunch of dumb decisions, but it's like, you gotta think, man. Like,
I wanted them to win, but I was like, yeah, this. I guess when you feel like the movie's about to come to an end, you're like, yeah, they're not gonna make it.
well, I mean, you gotta think, man. When we always try to think of traumatic situations from an untraumatized mindset. Meaning, like,
This is true.
When we look back at shit that happened, we be like, man, I wouldn't have did it that way. Cause you wasn't in the, you wasn't,
shoulda, coulda, woulda ass nigga.
yeah, you wasn't under the pressure of a motherfucker just like you thinking life is sweet and then that shit turning sour immediately.
Right.
And like, you having to figure your way out of a sour situation that you ain't never been in before.
You ain't
gonna
prepared for it, none of
yeah,
that.
you ain't fucking, you didn't go to school for this.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to a lot of people. And I even myself, I had to check myself when I go back and look at things that have happened in the past, because I'd be like, I carry a gun in my car, and I'd be thinking to myself, like, if anybody fucking pull up on me, I'ma shoot them. But shit, I don't even know, like, you don't even know when somebody is about to threaten you. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know when some shit is about to go sour, so you can't even apply that logic to it.
Yeah.
You know?
With Lovecraft Country, what I say is that, like you said, Queen and Slim, it's a lot of content being out there, and I like what you said. I like the perspective that it's coming from black creators, because it provides, like I just said, a different perspective, because we ain't even thinking about it the same way. Like, if we look at Glory, that's like pretty much a white story with black people in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you look at Queen and Slim, or you look at Lovecraft Country, or you look at Get Out, and like, that's why they even had to make some of this stuff comical, because that's the only way you can actually get it played.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta say it's comedy so people can. So I can have people watch it. Because if I say this is a drama or this is a horror film, then it's like, oh, who's the big bad evil demon devil spirit? White people. Nah, fuck that. Hell, you talking about? We ain't finna green like this.
Right, and you also got to make them appear in a not so, like, you have to make it appear in a fantasy way.
Right.
Like, you have to make their evil look extremely evil.
Yeah.
You can't just make it be passive evil, because then you give people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
passive evil is the true evil, though.
yeah, and that's the part they don't want to be called out on for. So you got to say, well, in Lovecraft Country, it wasn't really like that. People
I'm not a vampire.
Yeah,
so.
they weren't vampires. So, but if you be like, if you just take the vampires out of it, then you
everything else stays the same. It's that's it. that's the only difference.
That makes complete sense. Like, when the Get Out came out and it came for the Academy Awards and they had it classified as a comedy, I was like, why is it was a funny movie, but it definitely wasn't a comedy.
Right. Yeah, and the funny part was only Lil Rail, and then he was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So that makes sense. Like, you gotta spoon feed them.
Yeah, the only way you can say real shit is make it funny. If you ain't, you can either, it's a quote, I don't know, you can either be funny or tell the truth or some shit like that. But the only way people gonna listen to you when you say some real shit is if you make them laugh.
Yeah.
And you know what? We've been making our audience laugh for 1 year.
Yes, sir.
121 dreams.
Yeah, I'm at my year too, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, and also in addition,
we are at our 1 year because you are at your 1 year.
Yeah.
There will be no My Homeboy podcast without Eric.
Yeah.
And that's why we call it Eric and his Homeboys podcast.
Look, they ain't let me talk for a majority of the first season, so I had to make up for it in these last few episodes. I had to put my voice out there for enough.
We had to roll out the red carpet for you. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It's been a year. Yeah. It's been a year of growth, and this podcast, man, it's grown. Like I think, like just even our camaraderie and our like what is it called, chemistry, as far as speaking on the podcast has grown a lot, and that's consistency. So it's camaraderie.
Somewhat of a fraternity, if you
right.
will. I ain't trying to, no shade to anybody. I'm not trying to claim nothing, be nothing. Now people be about them fraternities and them colors and them words and all that stuff. I'm just saying, like, it's a brotherhood, like you said.
Yeah. And if you listening, I'm sorry to shout out myself a little bit, but
ahead,
we is 1 year. So if you listening, you still got an opportunity to get in here while
you can get in on the ground level.
Right.
A business that is about to explode.
Right. You can still get in before I start hitting niggas over the head.
This grassroots organization of 121
right.
Still on the ground level. So you can still get in, get your voice heard to the public.
Right.
Exponential growth.
Find your audience so you can be a voice for the voiceless. You can get your opinion out to everyone, and you can be one of the 121 dreams.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So my Homeboys podcast, we made it to a whole year. Like
Eric and his Homeboys podcast.
Twan, how you feeling about the year?
Man, this year,
not 2020.
No.
I know, because
the year of our podcast. I went back and listened to every episode from day one to now. I haven't listened to the bonus episode because Napoleon got it. There's a phantom episode, and it's just me and Napoleon talking, Eric recording.
Man, that's like Detox, bro. It ain't never coming out.
Yeah. Real talk though, man. And I went back and listened to all the other episodes, and the first two episodes, in my opinion, are complete trash because we're like, I feel like we're walking on eggshells. We're like trying to, it's your first 2 days of work. You really didn't know what you was doing.
Yeah.
I think by episode 3, we kind of found our niche. I mean, we've definitely grown. I used to do a lot more public speaking in my younger days, college, after college, different conferences and stuff. And I feel like I was able to articulate myself a little better. Doing this podcast is almost getting me back to that level.
Yeah.
Like I never used to write speeches or anything. I used to just get up there, grab a sheet of paper, just like I have something to look at. People think I was prepared. It didn't just flow from the brain.
Yeah.
And doing this podcast for the whole year is getting me back to that mental capability because it is definitely a skill. You have to practice your public speaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My vocabulary is trash. But no, I like the show. I like where the show is going. And we're 1 year in, 2 seasons down. I can't wait for the next year. Next year. We're still in season 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel the same way, and I like to know what our listeners think, man. Please like, comment somewhere on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you follow us, wherever you see us. Give us your favorite moment for the year of the My Homeboys podcast.
Yeah, let us know what's your favorite moment, man. What's your favorite episode?
And if you in the Atlanta area, we doing a social distancing celebration.
Yes.
On Saturday.
Give the date.
The 28th. Is it the 28th?
It's the 28th.
Is it the 28th?
Yeah. I ain't good at math.
I ain't even. Well, we ain't even said it.
I think it's the 29th.
It's Saturday.
29th.
Yeah, it's 29th.
The 29th, because I know they
buy your liquor on the 28th.
Right. But yeah, we gonna have a little celebration. I guess we should set a time.
Yeah, we'll set the time. They can interact with us on social media platforms. If you want,
it'll be on the Instagram. It'll be on the 121 Dreamers page. We'll put it on our page.
Yeah, and Pretty Fly for a Fat Guy _
And then you're gonna try to get all your podcasts, right? Or
just anybody who can come.
Yeah,
anybody who can come. It's I'm actually, you know what? I ain't gonna. We're going to talk about it. We're going to post through the week.
Okay,
man,
cool.
Shout out to Eric. He has several podcasts underneath his umbrella.
I do.
My favorite podcast that you produce is my Homeboy's podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't tell my favorite because I love them all.
Hey, and that's very political of you to say. Final thoughts. Let's go from order of importance. So I'll go first. No, I'm just playing, man. Go ahead, Eric. Give us your final thoughts, man.
We didn't get to talk about it, but that Nas album is fire.
Yeah.
So
every track I heard so far is dope.
If you ain't heard it yet, check that shit out. It's fire.
Yeah. I say my favorite. Well, I ain't gonna say favorite track, but favorite personal track. Full Circle. That it sounds like it's the 90s, but it's like 2020. They
went in on that.
Yeah,
Full
it's
Circle.
The Firm. If you know anything about Nas and old school rap, boom bap, hip hop,
bruh, they got Foxy Brown on there.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't made it to that one. I like the one with Hit Boy though.
Yeah. And he got a couple tracks on there. He got
Ultra Black.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think that one. I felt like a king driving.
Yeah. Well, mine is 10 points. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it already. But
we already know.
But yeah, shout out to Big Grams and Andrew who couldn't make it tonight for the 1 year anniversary episode, but they still here in spirit.
We'll let them do their memorable moments or whatever online.
Yeah.
All right.
JJ, man.
Nah, like I said, Full Circle. I was gonna kind of end with the Nas thing too. Full Circle, you gotta listen
Great
to
minds
it, check
think
it
alike.
out, man.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna change it up then, man. My hearts and prayers and thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Go to, and I'm not even going where you think you're going.
Okay.
I'm going with Kobe Bean Bryant, man. Today is his 42nd birthday, man. So yeah, it's tough watching NBA playoffs knowing that Kobe is not with us anymore, but.
Yeah.
Shouts out thoughts and prayers with his family, man. Thoughts and prayers with anybody going through any type of COVID situation, directly or indirectly, man. But on a positive note, man, this is my homeboy Napoleon.
Yes, sir. And this is my homeboy Eric.
And this is my homeboy Twan.
And we out.
And we out.